Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I am Isani Kayetano.
It is a lovely Wednesday morning, and if you're having your first cup of coffee, if you're on the road, or if you're just tuning in at home, we're happy to have you here as you start your morning right. Good morning, Isani.
Good morning, Sab. You say coffee, I say water.
Yeah, well, whatever works for you.
Others would have milk or
Yeah,
tea.
or tea, yes.
Gotcha.
But nonetheless, it is a beautiful Wednesday morning. I was happy to wake up to see sunlight. Usually when we wake up so early for a morning show, it's a little bit dark still. So I guess that's the change of the time and whatnot. But we're happy to be here, and it's of course a great start to, or a great mid of the week. It's hump day.
It's Hump Wednesday,
Yeah.
right? And so while we're at the middle of the week, most of us are already looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
Particularly this weekend, Sab, because it's going to be a long weekend
Yeah.
and it's going to be chock full with activities.
Definitely. For sure, everyone is looking forward to that extra weekend, the Monday. So you don't have to wake up so early on Monday morning unless you have your own activities planned for the long weekend. But nonetheless, we are looking forward to it. But we want to kick off the show, Isani, with some unwelcome news yesterday that took place. It was about the afternoon, and just when I would say, school children are about to go back in the classroom after lunchtime, and news spread like wildfire that there are about 20-something children that ingested some form of a candy that was infused with a chemical or some form of a drug. I know that you were the first reporter on the scene, so we do want to talk about that. But before we get into it, we want to present the story again that was aired on the newscast. And of course, we will have some chit and chat about it itself.
It has been an afternoon of chaos and concern at St. Luke's Methodist School, where dozens of students fell sick and had to be hospitalized after consuming candy believed to be infused with cannabis. Olga Gordon was at home in St. Martin's area when she received a phone call from her daughter.
Well, at this point, I didn't know what was happening until my daughter called me, Ishel Gordon. And he said, Mommy, they rushed her down the hospital. He eat one candy, we got some drugs or something in it, and they flush her. He said, so please call Auntie Linda because her grandchildren in there. Call this one, call that one. I said, what happened? He said, Mommy, I don't know.
Gordon's grandson was among several children who purchased and shared the edibles. They did not know that the sweets they enjoyed during recess and lunch contained THC, the chemical substance that makes an individual feel high. Chief Executive Officer Chandra Cancino, Carl Houston Memorial Hospital.
Approximately 1:30, we received an influx of a few children that were exhibiting symptoms of nausea and vomiting, lethargy, etc. And so we were alerted, and we just, I think about 15 minutes more, a few more came in, and so we had to come down to see what was going on.
Do you have a number in respect of the school children who have been admitted to ward?
I think so far we have approximately 27 children and I think 3 adults.
That number has since increased to 29 kids and 4 adults. The youngest among them is a 4-year-old boy. His mother took to social media earlier today with images of the child undergoing treatment. Outside of the hospital, a concerned father waited to hear about his daughter's medical condition. She too had ingested the candy.
Her friend bought some, like a package with candy looking like Rice Krispie treats for me and probably fudge or something, but they wasn't aware that edibles or whatsoever they call them. Because I think adults take that, so, but I think that fear that they sell that to no kids, you check. I mean, it got symptoms of vomiting, nauseated, you know what I mean? And that, so when they pick me look bad in them, and that wrong when they do kids.
The confections are ordinary. It's a small package with no labels to indicate its contents. At first glance, one wouldn't assume that these sweets are made with cannabis. The effect of eating them has resulted in mass hospitalizations.
We have protocols in place for the treatment of those symptoms with the suspicion that they ingested something.
So can you talk to us about dealing with a situation like this where you have a large number of incoming patients?
Yes, we have already instilled the mass casualty code, and so that is currently in effect to ensure that we can bring out staff to ensure that the patients are all well taken care of and everything at this time is under control.
Back at the primary school around 2 o'clock this afternoon, parents were picking up their children. One student was being escorted back onto the compound after exhibiting symptoms consistent with having ingested the candy.
To know when I came out here, other parents' children is in hospital, and they're saying to me that more children still they drop down. Some children from St. Martin's School came to buy, they purchased this stuff, and they're having the same problem right now. So as a concerned grandmother, a parent, I rush out here to give support to the other parents that is out there whose children is there.
CEO Cancino was unable to say how long the patients would be admitted to ward for treatment, as each case was being treated individually.
It's hard to say. Their symptoms are being monitored. Some have more symptoms than others, so that would depend on what the doctor decides.
Can you give us an idea perhaps of the youngest age that you're dealing with in here?
Yes, they range from ages 4 to adult.
The police department is investigating the incident, as well as the Ministry of Human Development. The Ministry of Education is yet to release a statement on what transpired today. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano. All right, so what I want to do before we get into a proper discussion of what transpired yesterday, I want for us to be able to go to another clip that we have lined up. This is from a parent whose husband also ingested an amount of this laced candy. Her grandkid was also affected by this as well. So we'll go to that soundbite now, and then we'll come back and have a discussion on what took place.
They look dizzy, then they give them drips, then they take blood work and thing.
But your husband, he ate 6. How's he doing?
He not eat 6, he eat 1 pack, but like 6 pieces of the candy.
Oh, okay.
So and then I guess he passed out because he's diabetic.
Wow.
Yeah, so he made a vomit up too, so they have him on bed already.
How distressing is all this for you?
But 3 of them. You don't know that what, so you're confused, you know.
3 of them, as in your husband?
Yeah, and my 2 grandkids.
What's it like inside there right now?
A lot of picnic. Chaos, doctor, they run up and down, nurses, everybody, they try, make sure they tend to the kids, they go check their vitals, check on them constantly, make sure if they could get up, if they could sit down up, if they check their eyes, if they dizzy or something.
Where do you lay the blame at this point?
I don't know, because I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. My daughter called me and told me that I called my granddaughter wake up sick. I came home 7 packs last night. So I always came home snacks today when I couldn't believe. So my granddaughter, she took one piece last night. Say I carried her to school, but she eat piece last night. So this morning when they wake up for school, you know, feel good, say, but it hurt her. So she not going to school, so only my grandson come to school. But my daughter called and tell me that the lead boy at the hospital, so I have to bring the lead girl down. And when they come the lead girl down from Ladyville, that then she tell me that you have to go feed my husband, because he eat 1 pack and he diabetic. So
where you buy from? You buy it last night?
Okay. A friend of mine gave it to me for Crystal snacks in my baby's name.
And she not tell you where she get it from?
No. Now, a friend of mine always give me snacks today. So I get to somebody, he must get it from somewhere too, and does give me at least something for my kids then, no?
Could you describe like what items or what candies were in the bag when you got them?
You got like Rice Krispies in there. I think 2 different colors already. One of them, I don't really look on the thing. I saw the gummy bears, and cause I even taste one, but not taste like eat. One little pinch of the thing I taste, see if I got one little sweet flavor before I give my babies they eat. So, but a big piece, so well, you know.
When you open it, didn't you get the aroma or the whiff of marijuana?
I spoke. No, no, I never get no hint of it.
Sabrina, I think it is important for us to begin with a chronology, a sequence of events as to how this all unfolded on Tuesday. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I was the first reporter on the scene yesterday when we got word of what was taking place at St. Luke's Methodist. I want to begin by first chronicling what I saw when I got to the school. So I got there just about 2 o'clock or a little bit before 2. And the first thing I was able to observe when I arrived at the school compound were parents and police officers. So there were parents there who were frantic because at that point they did not know whether or not their kids had consumed these confections. And the police were there not only to keep order or some semblance of order, but to also begin a preliminary investigation as to what it may have been that these kids ate. So while I was there, as you saw in the initial story, I was able to speak with Olga Gordon. Now, Miss Olga, many of us know her from St. Martin's area. She's a justice of the peace, and she does a lot of community work. She's involved with activism and that sort of stuff, social outreach. And so she too has a grandchild whom she mentions by name in the story, who attends St. Luke Methodist. And in the interview I conducted with her, she mentioned that she received a phone call from her daughter, who informed that the child was at the KHMH and he was being flushed out for whatever it was that he had consumed earlier in the day. At this point, there wasn't a definitive number of persons who are affected by this food item that they ate. We were just kind of trying to gather as much information on the ground as possible. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the parents who showed up thereafter were frantic and concerned. And in the midst of all of that, one of the students began displaying symptoms, exhibiting symptoms of being affected by whatever chemical. I would want to think, based on my own research of edible cannabis, which is what is believed to be consumed, that particular substance is THC, right? A lot of people who either smoke or consume cannabis in its various forms are familiar with THC. It's a substance that gives you that euphoria, that high, right? Nonetheless, back to the scene of where this thing was taking place. So we attempted to get a word with the principal. We were not allowed onto the compound, but we had asked if it's possible for word to be passed on to the principal, at least to get a conversation going as to her knowledge of what took place. I think it would have been important for us to get word from the school at that particular point. Nonetheless, that wasn't the case. It did not happen. So we moved to the next location. This is at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital.
Where they were being transported,
Ferried to,
yeah.
Yes. And by this time, there was a mounting number of, I'd say, victims, because they were unsuspecting. They did not know that this would have been the outcome. So I'll use the word victims here. So there was a mounting number of victims being brought in for emergency medical attention, right? And in the midst of all of that, again, the Ministry of Human Development, their personnel began pouring into the KHMH, again, to get some kind of investigation off the ground. Similarly, members of the police department were now on the scene at the KHMH as well as scenes of crimes and forensics experts to get a handle of you know, what it was that was consumed and find out exactly perhaps what are the chemical components of it or what have you. So that was the initial part of it. We then reached out to the chief executive officer at the KHMH, Nurse Chandra Cancino, and she arranged a time for us to be able to speak with her to give an official update as to what was taking place, the number of kids, their ages, and so on and so forth. When that time came around and she was able to present with us the preliminary information, the mass casualty code had already been effected, right? Where you have the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital stepping up its operations to be able to treat with these individuals who are being brought in. At the time when she spoke with us, it was not 33 at the time. It would have been around 31. So there was an additional 2 afterwards. And I think one of the most striking things in terms of being able to find out from the CEO the ages of these persons who are affected.
That was also striking to me.
Yeah. 4 years old.
Yes.
Right? And I can't put myself in the shoe of any of those parents whose kids were experiencing these effects. But I'll depart from my journalistic position here and try to view things from the perspective of a parent.
Yeah.
I myself am a parent of a 4-year-old. No parent thinks that when they send their child to school, that this would be what they would be faced with at any point in time. You don't send your child to school thinking that they will eat something that does them harm. And I could only imagine the hysteria, and I could only imagine the sense of helplessness for a parent not being able to control that situation, to know that your child, and in this case, as I mentioned, the most striking was the 4-year-old, as you saw him on the hospital bed, all, you know, tubed up. I could only imagine what that parent, and she took to social media to express her frustrations as to not being able to have a personal handle of the situation. You're there at the bedside with your child. You can't really do much. You're just waiting it out to see if this thing will wear off, so to speak. Right? So that is part of it. So the CEO then began to tell us, okay, there are certain protocols that the KHMH has that it was already putting into place to treat with these individuals, right? And another part of it is that they were not sure, or they could not determine up front how long it would have taken for the effects of this particular edible to wear off. I guess it's on a per person basis, depending on the amount consumed individually. And so that was another part of it. And so,
which we know for sure is not the way that you would recommend or persons would normally consume edibles. We're looking at a pack of sweet or candy that a child would have bought and consumed the entire thing. And that's so important to mention, so we can just imagine the feeling that these children had. I also want to make mention that adults were also affected. There were 4 adults who were affected. There were 4 adults that were affected by the candy, and they were also admitted at the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital, I understand. Yes.
So, a couple of things here. While I was outside of the KHMH, an individual approached me with a bag of these edibles. And when I opened the bag, you can smell cannabis. Now, that's for someone who is familiar with the smell
or the
scent of cannabis. But for a child, it's different.
Exactly.
Right? They may not be exposed to the smell of marijuana like that, or cannabis, as we call it otherwise. So they are none the wiser. Similarly, the packaging is nondescript. It doesn't have a label. It doesn't have anything that tells you what the ingredients are and so on and so forth. So imagine you're being offered, because a vendor showed up to the school and that individual is selling treats. You're being offered to purchase one of these bags. You don't know exactly what it is that you're purchasing, let alone the quantities in which you should consume it. Because it goes back to this simple fact. For people who consume edible cannabis, there is a sort of prescription, for want of a better word.
I understand.
You're told exactly how much you should be able to consume.
There's
at
a
given
recommended
time.
amount that
Precisely.
you should consume. Yes.
So without this on the labeling, and you're an innocent child who knows no better, well, you figure it's a bag of sweets, you could eat all. And you know how kids are when it comes to candy.
Yeah.
They're going to eat all, which amplifies the effect of it, right? It's not like those of us who know would only eat a half of it or what have you. They're just going through the bag. And this isn't one child. We can perhaps extend to say that it was shared. So perhaps a bag is bought between one or two, several kids, and then they share with their colleagues, right? Because that's, you could say that that was perhaps part of the scenario at play. So again, they did not know what they were consuming in the first instance. So now we go back to another parent that I met, that I spoke with outside of the KHMH. And he was beside himself. Because imagine getting a call at work. Your daughter is hospitalized. She's vomiting, she's nauseated, she's displaying these various symptoms.
Yeah.
And you don't know your child to be experimental when it comes to certain things like that, right? It's a minor in primary school. And then you find out what it was that was consumed. So you could imagine, you know,
it's almost outrageous. It's hard to believe, you know. That's not a call that you expect to hear from a parent. You expect to hear maybe ramping on the school ground and something happening in that regard, but not a drug overdose, not ingesting some form of a drug, especially from a vendor, you know. So I absolutely agree with you.
So that was what took place yesterday. And of course, the treatment and the attention being given to these individuals carried through into the night, presumably, until, again, the effects of it began to wear off from each of them. When we spoke with the mother of the 4-year-old who was at his bedside, she informed us that the child was kind of going in and out, right? Again, I don't know how much of the candy was consumed by this little boy, but the fact that, you know, they were monitoring him closely to see what the effect of it would be over a period of time is of concern to anybody, including more so the parent, but to anybody who's watching this thing, right? But here's the kicker, here's the bombshell. This is the part that, you know, I think took us all for a loop when it was introduced in another section of the media, that these food items had been confiscated by the police department. And I was made to understand from my own investigation into this whole matter that the seizure was made by the anti-narcotics unit. So the quantity was then taken into exhibit. It's part of the process, right? A chain of custody process as it's described. So the quantity was submitted for exhibit, and we are told that the exhibit keeper at some point began noticing the smell, like it was getting spoiled or rotting or whatever it is, right? It was decaying, so to speak. And so they, or that individual, discarded of the quantity. And someone got hold of it. And this is how it proliferated across the south side of Belize City. A couple of things we need to keep into consideration here. It calls to question, firstly, how these items are being disposed of. I will draw a comparison here based on what I know to be the process carried out by the Belize Police Department when it comes to disposing of cocaine and marijuana. I've been on enough cocaine disposal operations where you're taken to a remote part of the city under heavy police guard. The quantity of drugs is burnt and destroyed. Same for marijuana. So I don't know what the protocol or the procedure was when it came to getting rid of this confection that is infused with what is believed to be cannabis. What I can tell you is that once this is officially confirmed by the Belize Police Department, they will come under fire for not being able to deal with this thing the proper way. And I presume that it will force some kind of change in terms of how they go about, you know, discarding of things that are not marijuana or cocaine.
Yeah.
Any other form or derivative of a narcotic.
I think what may also come into consideration is policy, perhaps, where it comes down to vendors and schools. Yeah. We know that some private schools do not allow their students to have access to vendors outside of the compound. Ideally, they would be getting food from the cafeteria, perhaps, but other public schools do not carry that principle or that policy. We know that there are some primary schools and high schools even that allow their students to go outside of the compound during lunchtime. And while they may not be able to walk around the community area during break, they do have access to public vendors outside of the compound. So perhaps that begs the question, what is the step going forward to perhaps avoid this in the future?
Well, it will beg a revision of whatever existing policies that are in place. Some people are fearful that if there is a knee-jerk reaction to be taken, that the good will suffer for the bad, in a manner of speaking. But policies, for the most part, are universal. They're non-discriminatory. So you can't, it's going to be difficult to say, okay, this particular group is exempt when you're dealing with a situation where you're addressing an entire group of people, in this case, vendors who are selling to kids on a compound. Now, I look at the lay of the land on Mahogany Street. And this is not to identify any one vendor or what have you. It's only a matter of looking at the geographic landscape. In front of St. Luke's Methodist are a bunch of stalls that are newly built. And so they are selling all kinds of, there's a vegetable stall there, there's a barber shop, a meat pie shop, all of these places are there. And so it encourages that sense of small business and commerce and what have you. And so you could understand, or you could perhaps see where, you know, kids from other schools would come around as well. St. Martin's de Porres is right literally around the corner. And so perhaps these kids too go over there to purchase. And these aren't vendors that are selling anything that would you know, cause harm or whatever. It's someone else who came to that area, and it would seem for all intents and purposes went to that particular school, because you don't hear of any other cases from any other, we haven't at this point, from any other school, anywhere else in the city for that matter, right? So it seems as if though that individual said, okay, well, let me go to St. Luke's and sell these sweets or what have you. And then that's where it proliferated.
I mean, of course, there are so many questions from the viewers, from parents, when it comes to how the candy was distributed across. We understand that it was a large amount that was confiscated by whoever, or from whoever, I should say. But what we will advise the public at this time is to, of course, not discourage your children at all costs to avoid consuming any form of vendor foods at this time if it's not something that they brought from home or get directly from the compound or the cafeteria. Please be careful of what you consume, especially if it's not a packaged, labeled, as you said, a labeled package, as you said. The candy itself was not labeled. So this is, it's a real concerning time for parents. It's not something that you can necessarily control, because you tell your kids not to eat candy, but when they're on the school compound and you leave them there, you don't know what they eat. I mean, for a lot of cases, these kids share the candies with each other. They don't necessarily have to buy it themselves. So it's not something that you can necessarily control completely, but we just advise our viewers, our parents, to do what you can to discourage your children to buy these items.
Here's another thing. When you're looking at the situation in the round from a comprehensive point of view, remember, there is this ongoing conversation. There's been a lull for a while about the legalization of cannabis and what have you, right? And the fact that the church has been the biggest opponent where this is concerned. Now, I would think it would give them fodder to say, look, see? And this is not a situation where it's actual marijuana where they have to roll up and light up and smoke. It's a different form where they're using the substance, as I've mentioned, THC, infused in the product. And for it to get away, in a manner of speaking, like that, and create this entire frenzy, this should be another part of that conversation.
Yeah, this
right?
could
And
definitely
I think
be an
it gives
argument
them
for them.
some kind of basis to say, well, look, see, this is the potential effect of what can happen if it gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I honestly never would I have believed, and I've been in this business long enough that we've covered strange things before, but never would I have believed that my afternoon would have diverted me completely away from the Jasmine Hartin matter, which we were covering from the beginning, to, this particular scenario where there's an emergency response for children who are affected en masse by something that they ate at school.
Yeah. I mean, of course, the viewers should know that we will be continuing the coverage of this story. We could definitely, you can definitely expect more from us in our newscast tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm sure you will be hunting for even more information from the police side,
there's a lot more
getting updates from the hospital.
There's a lot more to cover from this incident yesterday. I mean, there are various angles that we will be pursuing to get a better understanding of how we deal with the issue going forward.
All right, well, I don't know if you want to touch on another big topic that was had yesterday, the Jasmine Hartin story.
Well, we can go into that.
Yes, I know that was also a heavy story in the newscast
as well. It would have been the headline if this incident did not take place, right? But, so yeah, we were following the Jasmine Hartin case, as we've been for some time, since the unfortunate shooting death of Henry Jamoth in San Pedro couple years ago. And so yesterday was for an initial sentence indication, as it is known in judicial language, where Ms. Hartin appeared in court to find out exactly what she would be facing if she were to go to trial for this matter. And so when Justice Ricardo O'Neill Sancroft indicated that it's likely not going to be a custodial sentence, meaning there's a likelihood that she will not serve time and she will simply be fined and perhaps there's a compensation or what have you. Ms. Hartin, on the advice of her attorneys and her legal team decided to plead guilty to manslaughter by negligence, right? And it is interesting, and I would like to point this out because this is what transpired in court. So there's a shot of Mr. Jamot's family. They're all wearing T-shirts, Justice for Henry King, as he was otherwise known. But in the chamber of Justice Sancroft, he made it clear that
they shouldn't.
it was not the place for that kind of a display.
Yeah.
Because the sanctity of the courtroom is based on impartiality. You can't show certain things that would, kind of lean or seem to be leaning the decision anywhere or the other. And so I found that to be interesting because it's the first time I've ever come across something like that as well. It's a tradition for many people, far and near, that when you are burying a loved one or you're advocating for justice for a loved one, as in the case of Ladi Gillett recently, people wear shirts that have or that bear certain language or the face of the lost one, right?
Yeah.
But to go inside the courtroom wearing it was something novel to me. It's the first time I've seen something like that. It's the first time I've seen the court respond to something like that. I just wanted to point that out as something that stood out yesterday. But nonetheless, I mean, the family of Mr. Jamot, they were out there, and we got to understand that Ms. Hartin has been, reaching out to the family to assist financially and what have you. And I don't know what this means for either side, other than the fact that Ms. Hartin won't be going to jail, and that whatever the decision of the court, it won't bring back Henry Jamot to the family, that has lost him. Suffice to say that the decision, the matter will conclude on May 31st.
Yeah.
Right? So while there was this development yesterday, everything should come to an end on May 31st. Sorry.
Last night, we also showed a comment from her, which was one of the most recent one, of course, but one of the more rare ones, because she doesn't always really comment when you would ask her questions out there. And she said that, she just wanted it to be over and for peace to be had for the family and for herself as well. So, I mean, a lot could be, I guess, assumed in that instance, because as you said, this situation, her compensating the family does not bring back Henry, but nonetheless, we do hope that closing this case does bring peace for the family.
Some form of closure.
Some form
so
of
that
closure.
they could begin to move forward with their lives,
Yes.
respectively.
Yes. Well, that was two of the more heavier topics in the news last night.
Yeah.
We also showed some lighter stories from Paul Lopez in our Culture Tuesday story. He highlighted the culture of horse race, and fun fact, today is Horse Day. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but it was a really cool story from Paul, where he went to one of the areas in the Belize district where the horse race is really embraced. We have, of course, the horse track in Borough, and he was able to interact with persons that deal directly with horse racing. I also knew one of them, so that was really cool, because I think it really narrowed it down to me on the passions of people.
Yeah.
There are so many things that we could be passionate about, but to really see one of my old classmates embrace his job in that way, as a trainer for horses. And also one thing I don't know if a lot of people know, but of course there may be, to be a jockey, you have to be of a certain build, and while you may love these horses so much, you can't be a part of every aspect of racing. You have to be so tiny, and it's so cool. I have to say, I'm so proud of Paul for covering this story, and also to see the community embrace these members that really are so passionate about their jobs. So yeah, happy Horse Day. We're gonna go into our eye opener for this morning, though, and of course it's taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this. Often we want to be shown the big picture, but it is not always in our best interests, as we can easily become overwhelmed. Sometimes we may find ourselves wishing we knew what our lives are going to look like, or what gifts and challenges are going to be presented to us in the coming months or years. We may want to know if the relationship we're in now will go the distance, or if our goals will be realized. Perhaps we feel like we need help making a decision, and we want to know which choice will work out best. And even though we think we would like to know the whole story in all its details, the truth is that we would probably be overwhelmed and exhausted if we knew everything that is going to happen to us. Just think of your life as you've lived it up to this point. If you are like most of us, you have probably done more or faced more than you could have ever imagined. In many ways, not knowing what the future has in store brings out in us the qualities we need to grow. Looking back on your life, you would likely be hard-pressed to say that anything in your past should not have happened. In fact, your most challenging experiences with their inevitable lessons may have ultimately brought you to the greatest rewards. Not knowing the future keeps us just where we need to be, fully committed and in the present moment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Look, I always say, if I had the chance to do it again, I'd do it all over again.
The same exact way?
Yeah, that's where that expression comes from, right? It's the fact that you don't always know what's coming. So it gives you a sense of suspense and an anticipation of what's next. If you were to know everything that's going to happen to you or those around you, then things become boring.
Yeah.
It becomes predictable and mundane. So adding that little suspense, you know, granted, there are things you will plan for, you will have as your goals to achieve and what have you. And in that sense, you can put certain things in place ahead of you. But beyond that, things are going to happen that you don't predict, you don't plan for, you're not prepared for, and you just take it out how it comes, and you adjust yourself accordingly. And then when you look back, you say, well, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I take away from the eye opener.
For me, it's not about the destination, it's the journey.
There we go.
That's what I took from it, and I definitely embrace this eye-opener, and I hope that our viewers do the same as well, because I think it's so necessary. At times we focus on the destination, what we want to achieve at year 5 or year 10, you know, what are your 5-year goals? But really it's the work that gets us there. And of course, the lessons that we learn in between that really makes us appreciate the outcome in the future. So I definitely, as I said, embrace this eye-opener, and I hope that our viewers did so as well. But we're going to move on into the weather this morning. And of course, we have the National Meteorological Service with us on the line, and forecaster Michelle Augustin. Good morning, Miss Michelle.
Good morning.
How is it going? What can we expect this morning with the weather?
Well, we can expect conditions to continue hot and dry.
Okay.
And hazy as well.
Okay. What can we expect in our 24-hour forecast for today?
All right, we can expect another sunny and hazy day with no rainfall, except for this afternoon, the possibility of isolated thunderstorms inland.
Any advisories, anything we should be looking out for?
Yes, we advise that residents across the country, but especially those inland where the temperatures are expected to soar higher than the remainder of the country, to remain hydrated and avoid any outdoor activity unless it's really necessary.
Okay. Do you guys have an outlook, like an extended temperature outlook for the rest of the week?
All right, for the rest of the week, for tomorrow we expect temperatures to remain hot and dry. Friday we see a slight decrease in temperatures, but not much, 87 along the coast, 95 inland. So that's a slight decrease from today and tomorrow. And then by Saturday and Sunday, it goes back to hot and dry.
All right. Well, it looks like we can expect a good weather for the long weekend.
For the long weekend up to Sunday.
Up to Sunday.
Sunday evening, we expect thunderstorms to develop inland and an increase in showers overnight into Monday. So the Monday holiday should start off a bit wet.
Bringing us back to reality, I suppose. We won't complain either way.
I imagine it will be a welcome reprieve from this heat, right?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Augustine, and we do hope that you have a great rest of your day. Okay. All right. Well,
there you have it.
There you have it, the weather for the rest of the week. Going into Sunday, as the forecaster mentioned, we will be expecting some dry weather. But of course, on Sunday, going into Monday, it will get wet. But it's important to have balance, right?
There it is.
After all these forest fires, we want some rain. But of course, we're going to go into what we can expect for the day or for our morning show this morning. We have two great conversations. Up first, we have Smart talking to us about their upcoming deals and promotions this agriculture show.
All right, and our second conversation this morning, we will be joined by representatives of ITVET Orange Walk to talk to us about their expo and other things that are taking place at ITVET.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to start things off with Smart and hear about all those deals. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Ignite the innovator in you with Dell. Cellular World is an authorized partner for Dell Technologies. Whether you're looking for equipment for personal use or to transform your business, Dell Technologies can provide you with the right equipment to suit your needs. Dell is more than just desktop computers and laptops. The full line also includes monitors, data storage solutions, keyboards, docking stations, and other accessories. This is technology that makes it possible and provides solutions for every situation. Shop for your Dell products at Cellular World, your #1 Dell authorized partner in Belize, and get all the technology you want for less. Bring your brightest ideas to life with intelligent technology. Cellular World, authorized Dell partner.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for?
On Friday, April 28th, it's the only BEBL rivalry that truly matters. It's City versus City. Resorts and All Capital Sports Management presents Friday Night Lights. This is our city when your Belize City Defenders, who haven't lost to their arch rivals, the Hurricanes, since 2018, look to continue their domination. The Talladega Tornado and the newly minted member of the 1000 Points Club, Nigel Jones, along with JT Branch, Lorenzo Dillard, Michael Zul, Farron Loriano, and the rest of the Defenders have recovered from their mid-season slip slip-ups and have reasserted themselves as a force to be reckoned with. The halftime show features the 1, 2, 3 vegetable oil challenge for $3,000 and a special session from the Caribbean Palace, DJ Puffy, as he primes us up for the official after party at Shisha 8 Lounge. Defenders versus Hurricanes, and sponsored by Moikano Resorts, 123 Vegetable Oil, Honorable Anthony Mahler, Channel 5, Print Inc., The Tavern, Belize City Council, Body 2000, Premier Charters and Tours, Nocturnal, Madisco, Shisha 8 Lounge, Full Memory Photography, Smiling Meats, and Mars Rentals.
We go 0 to 100 real quick.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Deja mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
From now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus. The new formula with the ultimate technology and additives provides an A+ power and A+ performance. Dynamax Plus, available in diesel, regular and premium. Try it today and reach further. Uno, a different energy.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's daily obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800 A Way Out. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
Time to wake up. Time to prepare for the day. Time to learn. Time to make a difference. Time to look after yourself. Time to see your healthcare provider. Don't let cervical cancer stop you from unleashing your potential. Now is the time to get vaccinated. Now is the time to get screened. Now is the time to end cervical cancer. For more information, visit us at www.paho.org/endcervicalcancer.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are about to commence our first discussion of the morning, Sab. We have with us in studio this morning the Promotions and Communications Supervisor from SMART. Her name is Adelaide Sabido, and for those of you guys who know Adi, it's all about promoting SMART and all of its services.
Yeah.
Good morning, Adi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having SMART on set. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure having you here.
And there's a lot happening. You know, we never come to open your eyes and disappoint, right? This weekend, we are just a few days away to our National Agriculture 2023 Fair that I know Belizeans look forward to because there's always deals there. But before we get into the agric deals, or a little sneak peek, because we can't, you know, as usual, we can't give away everything. We have something that's very big that we want to talk about, and that we're very proud about, because there's a lot of work and effort that goes into these types of thing. And this is now having smart mobile and internet services fully available in Red Bank down south. You know, many times, well, one thing we can pride on about SMART is that we do our very best to get into these rural communities, and so a lot of our customers oftentimes come forward and say, wherever I go, I have SMART services. Majority of the places. Of course, for ourselves and our competitor, there are areas where, you know, there's very limited services due to the terrain or landscape of the place. But for the most part, we pride ourselves in delivering quality service in areas that our competitor may not have service. So Red Bank, we are now there, and we have started several promotions there for customers to get on board with SMART. We do have SMART customers in Red Bank, and we do want to highlight that, you know, progress brings a little bit of problem sometimes, and so we have like in the next 60 days, we are turning off CDMA for customers in that area. And what CDMA is the old smartphones that you used to have that does not carry smart SIM, right? And so we are turning that off in Red Bank, and the reason we are
taking
doing
me back
that,
to the old school.
Yes, that's I think
That's a
from
thing of the
before I
past,
started
yeah.
working at Smart, we used to have that. But we're turning that off to allow better, improved services with higher speeds, with the new infrastructure that's down there. And so we have several promotions to alleviate the transition for CDMA customers to UMTS, which is the SIM-based phones now. And so Cavani will talk a little bit about the device sales that's happening to alleviate that.
Good morning, just a brief introduction, all right? So Cavani Penner is the Product and Development and Procurement Manager at Smart. Good morning, Cavani.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
So at Red Bank, Adelaide said we're expanding there, and with that expansion, we're also offering our customers several deals, inclusive of our broadband internet that she just reviewed, our postpaid promotions. We also have a device sale whereby if you are making the switch to Smart, you have some special prices there. If you are a CDMA customer and you want to switch over to our new network, our upgraded network, UMTS, we have special prices as well. And then you have a promotional price if you don't qualify for any of those two offers. So for the CDMA, a lot of customers wonder, how can I tell if my device is CDMA? Well, there may not be any specific way to tell depending on your device, but what you can do is contact our Smart office. And there at our Smart office, we can tell you if you want to call us in, send us an email. Once you give us your number, we can tell you, okay, this device is a CDMA device, you do qualify. With these deals and promotions, the only thing we ask that you are from the Red Bank area or surrounding areas, and you can qualify for those prices. With the CDMA price, the trade-in, you need to trade in your old device to qualify, and you can get a device for as low as $45, and if you want a premium device, you can get it for $299. So that is a really good deal to convince customers to switch over to the new network. And then for those that may be in the area that may have the other provider, we can give you the advantage of making the switch, and you get a very discounted device as well, similar to the CDMA trade. So definitely we're encouraging customers, since we're there now, if they want the best service, switch over to Smart, switch over to UMTS, and you can enjoy what Smart has to offer in Red Bank now.
Yeah. So just for reiteration to our viewers, why should they switch from their CMA device if they are applicable to something else that you guys are offering?
Well, the CDMA is part of our old system, you know, and so UMTS, they're able to enjoy higher speeds, faster, well, everybody's on mobile data, using their mobile data, so you're able to allow, able to enjoy those faster speeds, and, you know, when you're on calls won't be dropped because it's a new infrastructure that, you know, being on a CDMA, right now, your phone might work, but if you compare it to somebody that's on a UMTS network, you know, they're enjoying...
Like night and day.
Right, they're enjoying...
The CDMA is a very old technology, so right now there are no other providers that are updating the antennas, the receptors, and so forth. So our coverage for CDMA is limited, and every couple of months it keeps on decreasing. So in order for you to take full advantage of your Smart service, your reception, you don't want to switch over to UMTS LTE. So that's the main thing that we're encouraging our customers to do, because eventually there will be no more CDMA sites. But now you can still enjoy the service, but we're trying to incentivize you to switch over before the last minute.
What does CDMA stand for?
It's just like the 3G network. You know, nobody really wants a 3G, wants to enjoy that. So we moved to 4G, you know, 4G LTE. You hear other countries going into 5G. We're not there fully yet, but we're heading there. And so it's very crucial that you move up with the times, especially if you want to be able to communicate effectively. But there is one thing that I do want to go back on with this SIM swap. There is, for those in Red Bank, there is a SIM swap going on for the prepaid customers and the postpaid customers, right? This is in addition to the device sales, that's the promo prices that are going on. And the SIM swap is for prepaid customers. You can get up to 25% off of any of the devices that are available. And with that discount, you get 2,000 megabytes of data, 100 SMS, 100 minutes of talk time, and 500 SMS free for 3 months.
Nice, okay.
Right, so that's if you're a prepaid user, right? We do want to encourage prepaid users to go postpaid because it's just so much more affordable. But everybody is not comfortable, you know, to go postpaid. And so we do have that available for the prepaid customers. For those who want to take a leap and get a postpaid plan, right now in Red Bank, the sale is remarkable for Red Bank. Once you go postpaid and you're making the switch, so you're swapping your SIM and getting a postpaid plan with Smart, you can get you can get a Galaxy A04e, and this is a very popular phone right now, a Samsung Galaxy, for only $25.
Okay.
Or you can get a Samsung Galaxy A04s for only $100, right? And that's for the postpaid users.
Wow.
Right? Plus, they get 50% off their monthly bill for the first 3 months.
All right, forgive me, Ari. It seems as though the Red Bank people, they get all they love. What happens to the rest of us this Agric weekend if we're heading down to Belmopan, if you guys are going to have a booth or somewhere there set up? What's going on there?
We do have a lot in store this weekend, right? We can't let all of it out the bag. It's a little different, of course, from Red Bank, but we can see, I can specify that the first 50 customers each day does have a surprise in the bags. You know, they will be able to get a better deal than the rest that come if you're the first 50. We do have a double and triple up for the weekend. The double up is countrywide on Saturday, and the triple up is only at the booth on Sunday, right? We do have great devices that are highly discounted, if we want to put it that way. I'm not going to go deep into it.
That sounds like some pretty big discounts.
Right, some pretty big discounts, right? You know, we're not going to go out there and not have the best deals, right? So definitely customers can look out for those deals. I think on Friday we will start sharing those with you all, and Saturday, as the weekend progresses, more deals will start coming out. So I want to encourage the general public to stay tuned to social media, and that's where they will be getting the treats and the surprises as we go into the weekend.
Sure. You know, if you're not a Smart customer and you're wondering what you're missing out on, Agric weekend may be the weekend that you want to switch over and try the services, because we'll definitely have some very good, generous deals for you. So if you're from the other provider and you want to switch over, you know you're missing out on a lot, the best value in the country. So come over to Smart and you'll see the deals the Agric weekend.
What other campaigns do you guys have going currently?
In Red Bank?
In Red Bank or across the business?
We do have a couple other promos going on for Red Bank, and the reason why we're highlighting Red Bank so much is you know, sometimes you hear people say, we want service in this place, we want service in this place. We have a trajectory path of where we're going and putting up equipment and towers to expand coverage throughout the country, right? And as we do that, we need to highlight the effort that goes into doing that. It's very costly. One, to put up a tower somewhere, and two, to get it to work and serve the people in the area. And so Red Bank right now, the folks in Red Bank, it's very crucial that we give them the very best, because we don't want to just go into an area and not be the best, right? And so for the folks in Red Bank, as they, you know, take advantage of the devices that you see on screen right now, the promo prices, the upgrade prices, or the SIM swap prices, because there's 3 different prices under each device, as you can see. There is also a refer a friend process. So you don't have to live in Red Bank right now to refer a friend, but for the folks in Red Bank that reside in Red Bank, if they refer a friend, they get $20 off their monthly postpaid bill, or they get $20 prepaid credit for every friend that they refer.
Wow, that's a lot of incentives.
Right? So it's to get them on, get them to enjoy the service. We've had before launching there, we've had customers residing in Red Bank but have Smart service as they leave the village, and you know they've been loyal with us. They've been patronizing us all these years, and you know, recently, I think recently our competitor went into Red Bank, and we've been able to hear from those customers, hear feedback, and they have waited for this moment. And so we are ensuring that we take promos to our folks there, because we've been listening, and we're answering what they've been requesting. So that's very important.
I know we're focusing a lot on the mobile, but we also have our broadband home internet. So with that promotion in Red Bank, if you sign a 2-year contract, you can get 3 months free, 3 months at 50% off, and 3 months free.
With free installation.
That is with free installation. You also get a surge protector for the first customers. You also mentioned what other deals we have. We have the pre-agric sale, which includes device sales from starting the 27th, so tomorrow, up until the Saturday. We have several deals for our customers. Within that pre-agric deal, we also have...
If I wasn't already a smart customer, you would have already convinced me to switch over. But the other thing, you're making me think about relocating to Red Bank.
No, Sunny.
At least for this weekend.
Let's stray a little bit away from Red Bank then. We do have the pre-agric sales. So I think you told me just now, well, before the segment started, that you don't think you've been to an agric fair.
Yeah.
Right. We do have some folks. I was there in Belmopan on Saturday, and I think it was 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was like, is this what we'll be working in next weekend? So there are folks that don't want to go out. It's not that they don't want to go to the fair, but they don't want to be in that heat, in that crowd. We have something for those folks, right?
Ooh, okay.
So that's the pre-agric sale. It was on screen a little bit ago, and those are devices as well that are discounted, very much discounted. They're not too different from the Red Bank prices, so you can't say that we're being unfair and Red Bank is getting the biggest deals, but they are discounted devices, and a little bit similar to what's going to be at Agric. Of course, Agric will come with more bells and whistles, but we're being fair, and we always have a beat the heat sale, and so the pre-Agric sale is.
With our devices sale, we also have several models ranging from a flip phone all the way up to our higher ends. So you have for every budget. If you don't have something, if there's not something on the flyer that you're interested in, we have several other devices as well with special deals. So you can always come on to our showroom, our offices, ask them which device you want. If you are an Apple person, a Samsung person, we have that for you. So you can always just request any specific request. We can also facilitate. Once we have the model, we can see how we source it and so forth.
And they can expect these devices at the agriculture show as well.
Definitely, and you'll also get additional deals. We're not leaving out our offices. They're also going to have some special promotions that are coming up. We can't release it at this moment, but you just stay tuned, follow our smart page. If you're looking for an extra deal, if you're not going to Agric, you're not going to be left out. We're going to have several deals for you, so just stay tuned.
And giveaways. You can't forget the giveaways. Isani, you have to come to the booth.
It's a consideration now if I want to go to Agric.
Yeah, you could go cover
it. You
had
me thinking about Red Bank earlier. No, you had me thinking about Agric.
Well,
beat the 100-degree heat, right?
Well, if you're trying to be a resident of agriculture show, a resident of Red Bank, or just a participant at the agriculture show, there is something for you at the Smart Booth. So we encourage our viewers to go out and check out the Smart Booth this agriculture show to get a hold of the deals and the steals you guys have to offer.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys have any last information that you'd like to share?
Well, the same thing with the agriculture showground, we're also focusing on broadband as well. So within the pre-agric sale, we have a broadband promotion where if you make the switch, you can get 50% off for 3 months. With that, you also get free installation. So if you don't make the switch and you're a new customer, you can sign up and get free installation. So that deal will also be present in Agric. But we have all our services available to you: postpaid, prepaid, broadband, whatever you need that you know Smarts offers, we will have it there and at our showrooms.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing what Smart has to offer online and at the agriculture show this weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining us. When we come back, we will be taking things over to Orange Walk, where we have the Orange Walk ITVET with us, and they will be talking to us about their upcoming expo and more. Don't go away.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Whether you are getting ready for school or the office, or to work on a construction site, there is one common factor. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you start to button your shirt, strap your boots, or straighten your badge, every detail of your uniform was sourced with you in mind. At Tropicana Store, we pride ourselves in providing the highest quality, most durable uniform brands. Our collection includes 100% cotton or dry fit, wrinkle-free, smart crease, and machine washable options. Your uniform is a reflection of you, and you deserve to look your best. Visit Tropicana Store today and see for yourself the high quality that only we can provide. Your uniform, your identity, your choice. Only at Tropicana Store.
With so many different styles of light bulbs, sometimes it's tricky to choose the right one. Whether it's a screw-in, candelabra base, or pins, we have what you need. From lamps to ceiling fans, floodlights or chandeliers, we have bulbs available in cool white, warm white, or daylight. All you have to do is choose. Once you have chosen your bulb, the final choice is technology. LED technology is energy efficient, long-lasting, produces a high-quality light, and saves you money. Choose wisely and let Benny's be your one-stop for lights. Benny's, quality and saving.
You can be the next Mega Bingo Progressive Jackpot winner. Wouldn't you want to get your hands on $113,437? Well, don't miss your chance to make that jackpot yours. Buy your Mega Bingo tickets at your nearest outlet and tune in to the next game airing this Wednesday, April 26th, live on Channel 5 and Love FM at 8 p.m. Or stream the game online on Facebook or YouTube. Just search for Belize Mega Bingo. So don't let all that cash pass you by. All that money can change your life. Remember, Mega Bingo is the game.
Westrack Limited is committed to working hard every day to ensure you get the right products at the most affordable price. We strive to have the greatest selection of quality, affordable, and timely products and services that will enhance your personal or corporate lives. With an extensive line of products, we'll be sure to have what you need. For even faster service, you can contact us on Facebook, WhatsApp, or by email. We look forward to seeing you come through our doors at your nearest Westrack branch today.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
We are back and joined by the Orange Walk ITVET. Good morning and welcome. We have with us Armando Gomez, and he is the manager at OW ITVET. We also have Ms. Smyrna Sentimento Crawford. She is the counselor and job placement officer over at OW ITVET as well, and Josette Espadas, the librarian as well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us here today. Yes,
Thank you.
yes. So we're here talking about the upcoming expo and all that ITVET has to offer. But I want to start first by what exactly you guys do. For those who don't know, what's the role of the ITVET?
Okay, a pleasant good morning to you, and thank you for having us here. Good morning, Belize. And the Orange Walk ITVET is a full-fledged technical institution. We have trades in the building and mechanical trades. So for those who would like to further their education and get into the technical area, the Orange Walk ITVET is the place to go to. We have programs of electrical, carpentry, welding, plumbing, computer service and repairs, web programming and design, computer-aided drafting, AC and refrigeration, automotive, general construction, home repairs, and that is the list for right now. But we We also have what we refer to as the program combinations, which we refer to them as the technician programs. Those are technician programs that that is very much has become very, very favored by the industry, because our trainees don't only go to our school to learn one trade, they learn two trades.
Okay.
It is a dual trades that they do. For example, we have what we refer to as a construction technician program, which has AC and refrigeration and has electrical. So whenever the students get certified after level 1, level 2, or level 3, the industry observes them very quickly because they come with double expertise.
It's like a double major.
Yes, and then they don't have to hire 2 people to do the job, but only 1. And that's why I believe the industries are very pleased with the quality of the training that we produce. And we are always trying to improve at what we do. And I must say thanks to a great team that I have, that they're always pushing and trying to develop the trainees better and better to empower the workforce. So that's our purpose.
The Orange Walk ITVET is heavily promoted. You guys are always out marketing the programs that you guys have to offer to residents of Orange Walk and beyond.
Yes.
How has the institution grown over the years?
Well, we are a fairly new institution, if I must say. We're only entering our 17th training cycle in September, so we were teenagers in the aspect of an institution for education. We have grown since 2006 when we started. We started with an intake of 90 students, 90 trainees. We're now up to 200 plus for this training cycle, and for the past maybe 6-7 training cycles, we've been gaining popularity, if we want to say, and having the growth in our trainee body every year, no? And even in the way that we are offering the training to the community or to the public at large. When we started in 2006, we started with only one trade, so you would go and study only electrical or only computer service and repairs. And a couple years after that, because when a trainee goes and enrolls in the trade, he or she is sent for on-the-job training. This is where Ms. Sentimento Crawford comes into play, because as a job placement officer, she liaises with industry, and the employers are telling us, we want more, we want more. Okay. So with that, we started off with what we call the track system, which was 3 trades combined into one, of course, interrelated trades. But we saw that it was a little bit too much for the trainees to complete in a training cycle of 10 months, right? So we stepped down a little bit, and then we went into the dual system or the dual trades as we're doing right now. So change is constant for us at the Orange Walk ITVET, and we've seen a lot of growth, but of course there's always room for more growth.
Now, Mrs. Smyrna Sentimento Crawford, you are the Counselor and Job Placement Officer. So I would imagine that you interact firstly with the private sector and really find a place for persons that are a part of the ITVET. Could you talk to us about the impact that you have seen in terms of the students that go over to these jobs?
Like how my colleague here, Mrs. Faras, has mentioned, in the very beginning, we only used to, when I started, we only used to send trainees in Orange Walk and Corozal, in the northern sectors of our country. But we have seen that how we need to branch off more because of their job opportunities and everything. So we start to market. We actually took an adventure. We market our institution countrywide. We went as far as down south, Placencia, Stein Creek, Belize City, even in the island, visit all different resorts, different companies, so that introduce ourselves, so that then we can have, that will be the groundwork, so that then to partner with them. And over the years, you can see that the performance of our trainees, that they are, when we finish our on-the-job training, you can see that they have made a great impact when it comes to the industry. The employers are quite satisfied, very satisfied with our trainees, that they actually call us to recommend other trainees. And we have had employers that we have not even partnered with, but because of they having communication with other companies, other partners in the same industry, they would recommend our institution, and they would call our institution for us to recommend employers for them. And we always say the on-the-job training is the first step to come to the employment for our trainees, because when you go there, they do 8 weeks on-the-job training at level 2, and on level 3 they do 12 weeks. So during that time is when the trainees show what they're all about. And this is where the employers see, okay, these are the persons I want to work with. And we always tell our trainees, you know, this is the first employment based on your performance, then these companies will embrace you. As a matter of fact, just before we came here last week, we went to different companies to get a video shot of our trainees and even their feedback on them. And one of the things that is most outstanding is that our trainees not only come with the knowledge, the skills, and the attitude, but they are very responsible, very committed when it comes to their work. And this is what they have quite developed a very good soft skills that's what really stands out from our trainees that when we send them for on-the-job training.
I'm glad that you mentioned attitude, because you could be skilled and qualified in any area of work, but if you don't have that approach, that wanting to work, wanting to be able to excel, then you really don't go far, right? Is this part of what you guys teach at ITVET, beyond simply the hard and technical skills?
Yes, as Ms. Sentimento said, it's aside from the in-class, in-workshop training, these trainees need to know that punctuality, attendance, safety gear, attire, all of these things are important because they speak well about you and they speak well about the institution that you've trained at. And these are the soft skills that the employers are looking for, because as you rightly said, Isani, I might know how to fix a light bulb and how to install an AC, but if I'm there with, and my job is supposed to start at 8 and I don't roll until 8:15, and then I will have my tacos and I'll drink my coffee, and I go with, you know, my shirt untucked, all of these things are, yes, the ethics behind it. So their thoughts, we have weekly assemblies where Mr. Gomez speaks to the entire student body or the entire trainee body, and they're reminded about all of these things, you know, trainees, your hair, your attire, your punctuality, your attendance. So it is instilled in them from day one that they go there, and we, the staff, faculty and staff, try to best to emulate and to set the example for our trainees as well, so that they know that this is what is expected when you go out in the workforce.
And even during the course of the school year, I would have sessions with especially trainees in the trades, to prepare them for when I have to go there. We have sessions with them, and this is what is expected from you in the industry. And having that close rapport with different industry that we have worked with, we have seen what they want. And even in our evaluation form that we send for them to complete upon a trainee completing their on-the-job training, we have a section that has supervisors comment. And I review those things. We take their feedback very seriously. So whatever room for improvement there is, then I liaise that to the instructors so that then we can improve for the next year. Like always we said, there's always room for improvement when it comes to our training. And that's one of the things that we always embrace and we ask. And apart from that, prior to the pandemics, we would go, while the trainees on the job training, we would visit them. And then we would get the feedback from the supervisors to see, okay, how are trainees doing? Where are there room for improvement? And then we take that back and then we liaise that to the instructors, so then we can come next year coming around, the new ones that will be sending out there for the job training will improve on these areas. So that's how close collaboration we have, and I believe this has made our employers have great confidence in our institution when it comes to us sending our trainees for the job training. And we have partnered with several companies. For example, in Belize City, we have Garris Engineering, we have FT Williams that we have worked with, we have Caribbean Motors that we have partnered with, we have Bad Sub, we have in the island, we have Grand Caribbean, one of the biggest resorts in San Pedro, and even a new one in Kikakar, Blue Zen, Hamanasa Resort down south, Tabilmar in Placencia. So we not only comfort within the comfort of our zone in Orange Rock and Corozal, but that's a good thing that our trainees are willing to go as far as, you know, to venture out, and this is their feedback. We always tell them, depending on how you do performance on a job training, you will remain those doors open to future trainees, or you will close those doors. And so far, they have maintained that door open for.
Your students are essentially ambassadors of ITVET.
Yes.
So when they do a good job and employers see that, they could always refer their colleagues to pick up students from ITVET if they want to train or they want to get into the job.
Yes, also we must mention that apart from the students, we as the faculty and staff at the Orange Walk ITVET, it was mentioned a while ago that we need to also be the role models for them, because you can't say something and do something else. So they always have to be following up on the, we have to be the guides. And I must say that we do have a great team. We have a great team that does all the groundwork. We also have a dynamic board of governors that helps us tremendously. And we are very grateful for all of these things that brings us together. You also asked about how far have we reached as from the beginning to now. You can say, if you put it into a percentage-wise, when we started, they gave us like 100% help with the buildings and a few equipment. Right now, I must say that we have grown exponentially to about 600% now. What we got, we have about 600% more. And I must say thanks to all the players that have helped us, all the stakeholders, the media houses, the business community that gives us credit. For example, Brothers Habit Limited, they give us a lot of credit. We have the Mennonites, the Mennonite community that gives us credit also. We have Coops Sheet Metal that gives us credit, and we pay by installments. We also have Landis and Sons. We have L&R, Enrique Martinez and Sons Limited. All of these people give us credit, and we pay them by installments. And we are so grateful for that, because without that assistance, whatever you get from the budget, the annual budget that is assigned to you, is never enough. We always want more, because technical and vocational education is very expensive.
Yes.
And so we are very grateful for all this assistance. And we want more. We really want more. We always want more.
Let's go. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to quickly say, I think that is the perfect example of how a multi-sectoral approach works, where each sector is pouring into what is considered the future.
Yes.
So you have your trainees, your students there at the ITVET that benefit from the sectors, investing in them, that in return they will be putting back in the business as well. You were saying?
I wanted first to go to the expo in terms of what is being offered and what can be expected on these days, or on the day that you will be having this particular event.
Well, we're having our Grand Expo and Trade Fair coming up this Friday, so in 2 days, the 28th of April, at the Orange Walk ITVET campus. We're starting at 9 in the morning, and we're scheduled to finish off at 3 or until our last guest leaves. The purpose of our Expo and Trade Fair, this is one of the major marketing events for our institution. This is where the trainees showcase what they have learned since they enrolled in September, so from the beginning of the training cycle. And it's an ideal opportunity, especially for the employers, to come in and scout out employees or prospective employees in the trades. We will be having displays for the trades at both level 1 and level 2, right? So we go by levels. We don't go like by first farm, second farm. Okay. And we also have our pre-vocational group, which is the group of trainees who are not enrolled in a trade. These are the students who come out from Standard 6 or First Farm, who don't have the full background necessary to go into the trade, so they'll be having their expositions as well. But as I said, our Expo and Trade Fair, which is on this Friday, is the biggest event for us at the Orange Walk ITVET. And we have embarked in a countrywide tour, if you want to say, where we went to distribute invitations from Corozal all the way down south, Toledo Community College, Ecumenical High School, Independence. Here in the city, we reached out to almost all the high schools and the primary schools. So a team went out and we just bombarded the community, if we want to say. And the purpose of that is because we want them to come and visit us. We want the schools, we want the businesses, the public at large to come and visit us and see what we have to offer. I take this time to extend an invitation to your news team. If you want something newsworthy, come to the Orange Walk ITVET on Friday. Do a coverage of our event, and you'll see what we have to offer. We're here, as you said, try our best to come on the morning show and bring a little bit of the Orange Walk ITVET here, but it's nothing like if you're there. Yeah. The buzzing on that day that will be there is unlike any other. The vibes that you'll receive on that day is unlike any other. Our trainees and our faculty and staff have prepared and are continue preparing arduously for this day, for this grand day. We go as far as to offer free transportation for the surrounding community, the surrounding villages. bus runs, for example, from the different schools to ensure that we have them come and see what we have to offer. So again, I take this time out to extend the invitation to the entire country of Belize. Be at the Orange Rock ITVET on April 28th, this Friday, for our Grand Expo and Trade Fair.
I love that you mentioned from Standard 6, but as well as high school. So are persons out of primary school, can they be a part of the ITVET as well?
Yes, because as I said, we have the pre-vocational program, which is for Standard 6 graduates or for school leavers who for some reason or the other did not make it through academically. Maybe somebody who from second farm had to withdraw from their high school. These persons are placed in our pre-vocational program, which is a 3-year program that is like an incubator or a proprietor. They prepare them before they go into the trades. Because our trades are geared more for farmers and above, because of the type of training that they do. For example, if you enroll in the electrical and AC and refrigeration program, there's a lot of physics, a lot of chemistry, a lot of science that is needed to go into this trade. Not to say that a business graduate cannot enroll in that trade, because aside from their trades, the trainees do math, English, technical drawing, IT, and entrepreneurship skills at level 1. At level 2, they do small business, and they do computer-aided drafting, which is AutoCAD. So if, let's say, a female, let's say you want to enroll in one of our programs, for example, that does not necessarily mean that you will be the one doing the installation of the AC. That means you can start off your business and you can employ one of your classmates, and he or she is the one who is going to be installing. You have the background in the trade. You have the background to start off a small business, so you can be the supervisor, you can be the boss, and you can have others working for you. So that's the beauty about enrolling at an ITVET, and specifically the Orange Rock ITVET.
One thing to add to my colleague, Mrs. Paras, as long as you want to learn, you can come to the Orange Rock ITVET. One of the oldest trainee that we have had was in his 60s, and another one in his 50s. So we don't have no limit when it comes to the age in terms of wanting to learn. As long as you want to learn a trade, you're welcome to come to our beloved institution, Orange Rock ITVET. And one thing to note as well, we also cater for already persons that are working in the industry, but maybe they're a welder, but they don't have the certificate. We also accommodate that. That's what we call the customized program, where trainee persons can come that are already working. They only come on the days that they have their trades, and then after that, then they get the certificates. And then, you know, without a certificate, you can't say I'm a welder if you don't have something to show that you are. So that's one of the things that we try to work with a variety of our customers to try to ensure that all of them get what they need.
I love that you mentioned one of the oldest was 60 years old. That's so interesting. So what's the age ranges right now?
Well, you must be 13 years and older to enroll at the Orange Rock ITVET. That's the only limit. Age
and you're
limit.
never too
13,
old to learn.
No,
Never too old.
13 up, then once you have the drive to want to learn, then right now I believe our age limit is from 13 to maybe like somebody in their 30s. That's thereabout. I know we have a trainee who's older than 30 years old right now. So for this training cycle, that's the oldest that we have. But if you're retired maybe and you want to learn a skill, because you're tired of paying the plumber $40 every time he comes to your house, want to figure it out.
I love it.
You can enroll at the Orange Rock ITVET, and it's not limited to males. Although, as our manager mentioned, we do building and mechanical trades. It's not limited to males. Females are encouraged to do so as well.
In terms of the population, what are the ratio of females looking like that want to be a part of trade school?
It's very low. We would want more, but it's very low. But the numbers are creeping up slowly. The stigma about TVET education and even the mentality of the parents that, oh, but my daughter can't get dirty or she can't do that. It's changing. It's changing, and we have testimony from this. We're having female trainees in the industry. We have one of our best females working at Gentrack, Jamari. She went to do her on-the-job training there, and she was kept. She is one of their best technicians, one of their best welders, of course, because a female has a steady hand. And she's not the only female who is working in that trade. We have Cynthia, who is one of our technicians at Guerra's Engineering. She is now at the supervisory level, you know. She has been in the field working, setting up ACs. We have a young lady at Arelici at Belize Estate, which is an auto mechanics company, you know. So she's going under the hood and diagnosing and fixing vehicles.
And have one more. Right now, she recently, last year or so, she finished Nastle's cover. She's working at Sharp Engineering. She studied electrical, plumbing, and carpentry. And now she's our senior technician there. Actually, as a matter of fact, the employer said that they would send her to job sites, and she's the one in charge of supervising everything. And if you would see her size, small, petite.
Yes, she's a petite.
But she's very talented and she's very smart. And that's one of the things that the employer, Mr. Sharp, said, you know, he really liked that. And I really want to thank these employers that have embraced females to be part of their company, because it's not common, because like I said, most of the trades you say is more for male, but then we are trying to make a change in the mindset of our Belizean community in terms that what we offer can also be done by our female trainees.
And to add to that also, Belize is, we're a small country, we're developing, and we need all hands on deck. We need the females also to be involved in the development of our nation, because our other partners in education, for example, the universities and the junior colleges, they are mass producing a lot of graduates, and most of them are females. And then we don't have enough jobs for all of them. But if you come to the Orange Walk ITVET, I am certain that you will be happy. It is a good investment, and after that you get employed and you get good pay. For example, we can say that a level 2 trainee would earn like 400 plus per week, and a level 3 trainee would earn like 700 plus per week. So the investment pays off quickly after you finish, because definitely you get a job. So we encourage people to come to us and to be involved in the building of our nation. Technical and vocational education, I always say, is the foundation of every developing nation. And the nation that emphasizes on technical and vocational education is a nation that is going in the right direction, and you will see quick development and dynamic. The dynamics is always beautiful for the country. And why, for example, why do you see many of our people flocking to Chetumal? Chetumal, everybody wants to go to Chetumal, and we want to know that the Chetumal people, the people from the Mexicans, are flocking to come to Belize. That is not like that. And we need to develop the nation further for them to see what in Belize there is a lot going on. Let us go to have a vacation in Belize. And you notice that we need to change a lot of mindsets in Belize for us to develop further. And through technical and vocational education, I am certain that we're going to reach there sometime, I pray and hope, in the very near future. For example, Belizeans, many times they say that Belizeans can't be tourists in their own country. Why? The prices are too high, and so we can't afford it. So what happens? Belizeans then go and be tourists in other countries, and whereby you get a lot for little money. Right here, you don't get as much, and yet you have to pay a lot. So the tourism industry needs to look into these things also and see how TVET, and we need to keep the money in Belize, because, man, all of these things happen and the development happens because of technical and vocational education. So we need to emphasize more, we need to invest more. All of these resorts, as my colleagues have said, they need technicians. They need technicians to keep the place developed. This place right here needs technicians to keep it up to mark, up to standards. So if you get into the technical area, you can't lose. You will always be a winner, all right? So.
And one of the things is, like how our manager, Mr. Armando, mentioned, is that yes, they have their jobs and everything, but one of the beauties is that they are working at the company, and on the weekend and when they have vacation, they can do side jobs too. So they're getting more money and earning a lot of money. So that's one of the beauty about it. And one of the things is, like, you have a great opportunities. Like for some of our trainees, they have been trained by or sent by the companies to do further training. We have one of them that was sent to the UK through BASUB, And we have right now one of our trainees who is working in Antigua. He was one of our past electrical and AC and plumbing trainee, and he's now working in Antigua. He recently went there. So the opportunities are there, as long as, this is one of the things that how the ITVET is. We open doors to opportunities. So that's one of our motto as well. So along with we certify great technicians, and we are seeing the impact of our trainees out there in the industry.
Wonderful. Well said. You guys said a mouthful, and we appreciate you being here with us, inviting the public out to your expo. Do you have any last words, any last invitation that you'd like to send out to our viewers to come to the expo?
Well, again, our grand expo and trade fair at the Orange Walk ITVET will be this Friday, April 28th. We're starting at 9 in the morning up to 3 in the afternoon. We're located on San Lorenzo Road in Orange Walk, so we're inviting the entire country of Belize. If you want to be somewhere positive and vibrant on Friday, come to the Orange Walk ITVET. And thank you for having us here today, giving us the opportunity to be here. Yes, there'll be lots of food, lots of entertainment with the different projects that our trainees are doing. So again, the place to be is the Orange Walk ITVET on Friday.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That was the ITVET, the Orange Walk ITVET, talking about their expo this Friday and why you should join their team.
And if you like eating, a lot of food will be available. Tacos, tamales, everything.
Well, you had me at tacos.
Yes, yes.
You had me at tacos.
So they can come and be with us, and we will really be honored by the presence of everybody, including yourselves, all right?
Thank you, thank you. All right, well, we will be taking our final break, and when we come back, we wrap up a well show today.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says that Jesus was declared to be the Son of God with power according to the Spirit of holiness by the resurrection from the dead. During the time of the French Revolution, a man began a new religion that he considered to be a great improvement over Christianity. He only had one problem. He could not gain any followers. And so he asked Talleyrand if he had any suggestions. Talleyrand dryly said, "Mr. Leopold, to ensure success for your new religion, all you need to do is to have yourself crucified, then rise from the dead on the third day." The resurrection of Jesus is living proof that Christ truly was the Son of God. It was this very truth that brought the Apostle Paul to become a Christian. He had thought Christ was dead until that day when he heard the voice of God. He responded by saying, "Who art thou, Lord Jesus?" And Jesus responded, "I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest." It was a living Christ that changed his life and millions of lives of others. He will change your life if you will but hear his voice and invite him in to your life. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Hello eCash user, the eCash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your eCash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your eCash app. Enter your PIN. Tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen. Choose Security. Select Language. Tap on Spanish. Then re-enter your PIN. And that's it! Your eCash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your eCash digital wallet. Belize Bank's eCash app makes life easier.
My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your social security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement social security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your social security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement social security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information. Social Security at your fingertips. My Social Security.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of Sherwin-Williams Paint. Sherwin-Williams Paint is one of the most reputable paints in the industry, known for its superior quality, durability, and environmentally friendly technology. We carry a large variety of products for all your home and commercial needs, such as interior and exterior paints, primers, wood stains, sealers, clear top coats, caulking, aerosols, concrete, and masonry products. Achieve professional looking results with ease using Sherwin-Williams paint and coating. Available at Design Depot, all in one place.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
And we're back. Wrapping things up, we had a great Wednesday morning, great hump day. I really appreciated the conversations that we had this morning, starting with what's on the news or what's buzzing, with really just some hard news from yesterday. but then really going into other conversations with SMART, what you can expect at the at the Agriculture Show, and of course, ITVET's Expo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a weekend chock full of activities, and of course, you know, we're inviting all Belizeans to come out. If it's not for the ITVET Expo in Orange Walk on Friday, then there's certainly the Agri Show on the weekend if you want to get in on some deals, purchase some phones, some credits, data, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure what we can say is that there's much to do this long weekend. So all the way on a Wednesday, we're already giving you some ideas for what you and your family can take advantage of this coming weekend. But of course, we have to wrap things up, and we want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning. If you have any questions or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. But of course, tune in again tomorrow with us. You can catch us on Facebook or on YouTube. Our Facebook is Open Your Eyes BZ. And of course, you can stream on YouTube at GBTV. But you could also check out our highlights, our behind the scenes highlights, what happens, you know, on set, on our Instagram at OIE Belize. But if nothing, join us tomorrow again. I'll be here with you again when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a good one.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.